let's move over to another question here with Annette. And it continues on this theme of meaningful action and outcomes. Annette, in what ways are you seeing organisations, and particularly funders, use data and insights in powerful and meaningful ways?
So GrantMaker, I think it's still developing, but one of the great new developments for funders has been the release of Foundation Maps Australia. Foundation Maps shows grant makers who is being funded, where they're being funded, and what activities are being funded in a series of visual maps. And this allows funders to derive insights about their own funding. They can look at issues they're interested in and see where the saturation of funding is, where the gaps are. They can identify collaborators. If you put up the slide on constellations, I love the constellations because it's like system maps. I love system maps. That's what I'm doing in Insight Maps. So this is also in Foundation Maps. You can do a system map. So this is a system map of Melbourne funders in the blue, and the red are the beneficiaries. So if you see, for example, Justice Connect there, this is just a screen capture, but when you actually hover over Justice Connect, you'll see the line light up between Lord Mayor's Charitable Foundation and Helen McPherson Smith Trust. So you can see that Justice Connect has been funded by those two organisations. So there it is. So I love constellations. They're really exciting, and that's all in Foundation Maps, which is now available to Philanthropy Australia members on their Better Giving Hub on the Philanthropy Australia website. So that's one thing, and that's also globally available via Foundation Centre in the US. And you can actually research some really fascinating topics like global ocean funding and East Africa funding, and there's a lot available on Foundation Centre's website. In terms of charities and not-for-profits, it's not new, but what they're doing is using things like easy grants to aggregate data on funding, or US Foundation Directory Online aggregates 11 million grants available to charities around the world. So these are some ways that charities are using data. And I just wanted to mention something about podcasts and online learning. This isn't as sexy or as new as some of the other ways that data is being presented, but they're very popular ways of getting information. I wanted to show an example of something I've recently studied. If you get up that final image on C3, I came across this course called Consciousness, Communication and Change. And it's basically Rock Your Message. And it's basically about how do campaigners and people involved in advocacy communicate their message to get more impact. So I was really excited about this when I saw this, because I have been speaking to a number of campaigners over the years who tell me they feel like they're a broken record. They feel like they're saying the same thing over and over again, and people's eyes are glazing over and they're wondering what's going wrong, what's going on. So I thought I would do this course because I'm really curious about this topic. So I suppose I'm just illustrating that there's some great content out there. And an example of what one of the messages I got from this course was that when you're involved in campaigning, classically if you said to someone, give me 2 minutes on your issue, they would just tell you all about the problem for 2 minutes. But what they say in this course is that the best way to communicate in your 2-minute slot is to spend a third of it on the problem, a third of it on the solution, and a third of it on the vision. And when you actually try that in practice, that this is the problem, and you stop yourself and you say, and this is the solution, and you stop yourself and then you say, and the vision is da-da-da-da-da, it's so much easier to receive as someone who's listening. So I've been very excited about these. I think there is a lot of great content out there in different forms, and I've devoted myself this year to trying to spend a half a day a week studying and learning, because there's so much good content out there, and we don't all need to reinvent the wheel. There's a lot of people doing great, like this Consciousness, Communication and Change workshop was based on 20 years of neuro research, social research, cognitive research, and behaviour change research. So this is data. This is using data and research, you know. So we have access to it. If only we make the time to study and learn, which I'm trying to at the moment. So yeah, good stuff out there.
Fantastic. Excellent. I love that. I can't wait to play that back in a couple of weeks and just hear the chopping it up into thirds. It's such a great message for all of us in how we communicate, even if we're not campaigners or activists. You know, it's actually a really great communication style, just in terms of, you know, talking through everyday ideas. Great. Love that.
Yeah,
love all these tools and ideas. Thanks, Annette. That's brilliant. Thank you so much.